Star Wars. It's not quite Star Wars.
I think that song actually stuck in my head.
Really?
When the intro started, when the movie started.
Good morning, Vietnam! You are a toy!
My sons were better men.
She wouldn't even harm a fly.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
In a galaxy far, far away, he is Michael.
And he is Gin and Tonic Urso.
And we are Rated R for Review.
Coming at you live from your new house.
I know, I moved, so now I'm not here. In our new studio.
It is our new studio.
We have a new upgraded studio.
Yeah, I call this a downgrade.
Hey, fuck off. How's that? Alrighty.
Star Wars Rogue One. Lasered into theaters.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's gotta be warp drive in the...
Hyperdrive.
That one.
No, Hyperdrive is Star Trek, right? Ooh, people might get mad.
I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, sure. It's Lightspeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming at you in light speed.
They've gone to plaid. What were you expecting out of this, dude?
I didn't know what to expect, and that's why I think I enjoyed it more than others.
So you really just saw nothing coming into this?
Well, because the interesting thing about this movie is going in, you know what happens at the end.
Yeah.
You know they steal the Death Star plans.
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna say it right now in case you didn't see the name of this video. This is a spoiler talk. We're gonna spoil the shit out of this movie. So if you don't,
we're gonna soil the britches out of this movie.
Yeah, we're just gonna F it in the A on Saturday.
I don't know. Okay.
It's Saturday.
It is Saturday.
That worked. All
Okay,
right,
let's go.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
Okay. What did you think going in?
I was more excited for this movie than I was for The Force Awakens.
Really?
And I gotta say, it's the second time a Star Wars movie has come out that's been made by Disney that I've been severely let down.
You didn't like Force Awakens?
Fucking hated The Force Awakens.
Why?
We've been over this. It's just
not
fucking...
Not on camera, though, or not on...
It is just rehashed, retread, fucking A New Hope in a new skin, and utter fan service. And I can't fucking stand that because here's the thing. If you didn't grow up with the original trilogy, The Force Awakens was just a bunch of shit for those fans.
So you're saying it was for the fans of 1, 2, 3?
No, 4, 5,
6.
Yes. Whereas I'm a fan of both, but I grew up with the prequels, and I hate how everything is anti-prequel. Like, I like this movie a lot better than I like The Force Awakens, but that's still not saying much.
Okay.
You know, I'm excited to see where the... I'm becoming disillusioned by Star Wars at this point, I think. I have such fond memories of watching these movies for the first time and, you know, going back and rewatching.
Do you think at this point it's become just do you think it's just a money grab?
I think that a spin-off is a money grab. However...
But,
they did not do, in my opinion, the best story they could have done.
Like, the Clone Wars is essentially a spin-off, but that was done really well.
The show?
Right.
Yes, I agree.
So I'm saying...
That wasn't really a money grab, though.
That's what I'm saying. So they're not... Do you think they're just making these for money grabs, or do you think there's actually some content behind them?
I think there is content behind them.
In general, I'm speaking, in terms of Star Wars.
Listen, you go into Rogue One, and by the end of it, you sit there and you go, okay, well, that clears up a lot of holes the original movie had. Like, they just magically shoot an exhaust port, and the whole thing blows up. Well, now you know that was deliberately built into the system.
So let's take it from the top. Let's kind of walk through the movie. We start off in a
flashback scene with Jyn Erso and her father, Galen, and her mother, Lyra. Orson Krennic lands on the planet. Galen is farming, which, by the way, if you have seen the movie, there is a book that preludes this called Catalyst.
But you should have seen the movie if you're listening to this.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, dude, or dudette, fuck off. Yeah. Come on now. Ciao. It's Star Wars Catalyst. I actually read this coming into it. I signed up for Audible. Mm-hmm. Audible, where they speak books to you. It's pretty cool. But they gave me a free credit, so I was able to read that.
A free credit?
Yeah.
Like a credit.
Yeah, like they gave me one free book.
And also, even before the beginning... Before the beginning?
Oh, there's no crawl, by the way.
Yeah, there's no crawl. Because
it's kind of jolting.
They said they weren't going to do it because it's not a saga film.
Yeah, it's stupid. It
So they
needed
probably
a crawl.
I was looking for it and they didn't do it.
Here's the thing. You know what this opening crawl could have been? An explanation of Catalyst, for those of you who didn't read it.
And also...
You know what I'm saying? For the non-hardcore Star Wars fan who didn't read Catalyst, this could have been, Galen Erso worked for Orson Krennic, blah, blah, blah. Here's your introduction to the characters in the crawl.
And also, if you noticed, it was... the beginning, I couldn't think of it always starts off with like the ship flying over.
It had that.
And it's had that. So if it's not Saga, but you still had it in pretty much the exact same way you start
every Star Wars
everything
show.
else, why not a crawl?
I know. It's just stupid.
Right. Well, I
Plus,
mean,
this movie was not marketed well. Did you hear the people behind... Oh, you weren't there with me. That's right. People behind us were going... The little girl behind us was like, is this episode 8? Why does Rey look different? Mm-hmm. And I almost turned around and smacked her, and she was probably like 5.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The person...
It would have been the new show, The Slap, featuring me.
The person sitting next to me thought it was Leia, too.
Leia?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
The person sitting next to me was my roommate.
Guido.
He also thought Vulture was played by... Or, the Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah.
He thought that was Kiefer Sutherland.
Instead of Michael Keaton. What an idiot.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
But, so it didn't start with the crawl,
Yeah.
and then we get introduced to all these main characters.
Which, there's no backstory to them. You just know that, oh, this guy landing in the Imperial ship must be the bad guy. This guy who's farming has something to do with it, and it's stupid. They all could have hidden in that fucking hole that Jen hides in and Saw Gerrera finds her in. That was like, I literally turned to our buddy Gaggy, who, if you recall, is our Star Wars entrepreneur, whatever you fucking call himself. And I go, dude, like, plot hole, first 5 minutes of the movie, they all could have hidden that hole, because Orson Krennic has to walk 2 miles up to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking land on their farm, so they can't run and hide.
I didn't pick up on that, but that's a good point.
And also, there was no point, spoilers, why did Lyra have to die there? That was literally common sense.
To make her an orphan?
It doesn't fucking... Exactly. Disney orphans characters for no fucking reason. Lyra could have just put the gun down and gone with Galen. They would have known Jin was safe and they could have worked to get back to her at that point. But no.
I actually had no issue with that in the beginning.
Really?
I mean, besides that plot hole, I guess, yeah, I'll give you that. They could have all fit in that hole.
Yeah.
But
especially with Orson Krennic and his squad of Death Troopers walking up 2 miles.
But they needed Orso to get caught. They needed him to go back to the Death Star.
Orso?
What's his name?
Urso.
I was close.
Yeah.
He's Orso now. They needed him to move the story along for him to get caught.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They didn't do... Like, here's the problem with their storytelling. They left it too many fucking holes in the fact that he easily could have gotten away.
Right.
Easily.
But I think maybe he wanted to be caught.
That's the thing. He wanted to, he figured himself, if they're going to build this anyways, so if I build it, I can at least put in this flaw. However, wouldn't it have been smarter if he was going to do that to say to Lyra, hey, I'm going to do this, come with me, Jin can go with Saw, or you can go hide with Jin. This way you don't have to fucking die.
Or maybe he had to keep it a secret.
Why did Lyra have to die? There was literally no point for her to sit there and try to kill Krennic.
You need to make an orphan.
For the sake of making her an orphan, they made her an orphan. It's fucking retarded.
Uh-huh. Every chosen one is an orphan.
Okay, let me. Gareth Edwards directed this movie.
Right.
And he is the guy who did Godzilla.
Gojira.
The American one, not that stupid one with Matthew Broderick. And one thing this guy knows how to do is show scale. He knows how to show how big something is in relation to something else. So, like, when they first showed the Death Star, that was probably the coolest fucking shot in the movie because they put a Star Destroyer in front of it. Mm-hmm. And it's about the size of an ant to the Death Star. Which then you sit there and you go, oh, Force Awakens, well, Starkiller Base is 5 times the size of the Death Star. Damn.
Mm-hmm. You big.
Yeah, you big. But it's just a bigger Death Star.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. Going on to that, didn't you feel like they kind of jumped around to different planets a little too much?
That's what my next thought was after the beginning of everyone, after She hides in the hole.
Yeah.
And they kind of jump around to like a bunch of different characters.
They literally show 5 different planets.
Where it's funny because this isn't a saga film, but it takes place on more planets than.
Yeah.
Like
This should be called. This should have been called Star Wars. There was no reason to call this Rogue One. It should have been called Star Wars Episode 0.
What was funny is that it was marketed as Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
A Star Wars?
A Star Wars story. However,
just keep putting O's in places.
Yeah, I want to. I don't know why. So it was marketed as a Star Wars story.
Yeah,
but it didn't say that.
No.
I wish if you go to the
just said Rogue One.
If you go back to the trailers, they took a lot out.
Yeah,
like it was like the this is a rebellion. I rebel.
Yeah, that wasn't in there. Saw Gerrera didn't have that. What will you become?
Or the guy walking on the beach.
Yeah,
that wasn't in there.
The Death Troopers waiting in the water and stuff like that. That wasn't there.
They took all that stuff out of the actual movie.
Yeah. Jin and oh god, what was his name? Cassian Andor, the guy played by Diego Luna, who's a phenomenal actor. He was my favorite part of this movie. There's a scene with them running from the AT-CTs. I think they changed the name. They're not AT-ATs in this. They're AT-CTs because they're cargo transports. If you notice, that was the side panels that were missing because they were transporting cargo, obviously. But there's a scene where it's them running along the beach from those things, from the AT-CTs, holding a hard copy of the plans. Mm-hmm. That's not in the movie.
Right. They took a bunch out.
Now, you remember coming into this, there was a lot of reshoots.
Yeah, that was...
I think, and this is my theory, and Gareth Edwards did kind of, not confirm my theory, but kind of confirmed a part of it. The original ending to Star Wars that he had written in the script was, they're going to live through this. Because he didn't think Disney would allow them to just kill everybody.
We'll get to that, but dude, everyone died.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
Every single person who is part of this final fight dies.
Like everyone you fell in love with, like don't get used to them. Mm-hmm. They're fucking dead.
You know the best part of the movie, K2SO? Dead.
Oh man, he was
cool too.
He wasn't even much of the trailers either.
No,
he had no clue what type of character he was going to be, and he was the best part.
Anytime like a scene for me was dragging on, and I'm just sitting there going, all right, get to the next part. K2SO would come in and make a joke, and I was like, all right, that's good. Mm-hmm. That was good.
He was probably the best part.
He was like a pacing element,
Right. He was funny.
Yeah.
But then getting back to us kind of walking through the movie, then we get the next scene is what was his name? Cassian
Andor, where he shoots his contact.
Right.
Which lets you know about his character. Like, this guy isn't there to fuck around.
Well, I mean, that was kind of the theme of the whole rebellion, is you'll do anything for the rebellion.
Yeah.
Right? If it's you dying or you going to prison.
Yeah. And see, and here's my part, because we're obviously not going to talk about this movie beat by beat, but Cassian Andor at one point has a line. It goes, you think you're the only one who's lost everything? Or something? Like, you're not. And he says that to Jin. And Cassian Andor had probably the best character arc in the entire movie, and he just dies at the end. Like, it's you create these characters and don't give us any time with them because there's no development for these characters. Mm-hmm. None. And then you sit there and kill them all off. Well, okay, I want to revisit these characters, so what do I have to do? Watch the same fucking movie where they all die at the end? No. Like, this movie is not rewatchable. It's just a misstep. It's not the movie it's the movie...
It's the movie we want, but not the one we deserve.
No, I didn't even want this. I didn't even want this, man. Like, there was no point to this fucking story. We already knew they got the plans to the Death Star. You didn't need to improve upon the story elements of A New Hope, because here's the thing. Oh, it leads 5 minutes in, literally 10 minutes away from the start of A New Hope. Yeah? So then why the fuck, if they were on that ship, why does Princess Leia sit there and still try to go, oh, we're a cargo transport bringing aid to blah, 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 or whatever she says. Vader fucking knows! Mm-hmm. He literally just... And we'll get into that scene with Vader because that was dope, but he was literally just fucking on your ship and watched you drive away. Mm-hmm. Like, you might as well have had a license plate that was like, Princess Leia forever.
We break for no one.
Yeah, we break for no one.
But, then I think the next big character we get introduced to was Gerrera.
Saw Gerrera, who dies 5 minutes after being introduced.
He's actually like...
crazy.
He's like Vader.
For the rebellion?
Yeah.
How do you mean?
He needs a breathing apparatus. He's made up of mostly machines, and he got kicked out because he's too extreme.
Oh, I never put all that together.
Yeah, he's like the reverse Vader, or he's Vader, but for the rebels.
But he's like more of a puss
than Vader.
Yeah,
I mean,
he could barely walk at the end.
So Vader couldn't either.
Vader can walk fine. Did you see him walking down the hallway at the end?
You see my point, though. He's made up of like all metal, needs a breathing apparatus. He's got that oxygen tank, I'm assuming.
Deception! Traitor!
His one eye kind of droops.
Well, that's just Forrest Whitaker. That is just Forrest Whitaker, you dick.
But you see my point, though. He's kind of like Vader.
No, I get it.
So yeah,
that's good.
I thought it was a cool little thing too.
That is pretty cool. I didn't connect that. What'd you think of that stupid tentacle monster?
The truth
that gets anime rapey on. Oh God, what's his name? Boss.
I know you're lying.
Yeah,
he might kill you anyway or something.
The pilot.
Yeah. And then they don't show him ever again.
Yeah, I know.
They kind of just cut that. Like, so did they get the information? Or
there's no fucking point to that scene whatsoever. Why couldn't they just put him in the cage?
Right.
Let's animate tentacle monster rape this guy. Why?
We still have budget in the creatures.
Yeah.
What can we add?
They made this movie $200 million. This movie cost.
Oh, I mean, it made it back though. But
it did. Technically, if you think about it, so we've gone over this before. A movie gets made for a certain amount, double that for marketing, right?
Right.
So made for $200 million, probably $400 million spent on marketing. Opening weekend, this movie made $290 million worldwide.
Do you think any characters in this movie has like a big like marketing? Like,
K2SO.
You think he's probably the biggest?
Yes.
You know, like Baby Groot, we're gonna see that guy fucking everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Do you think they have that? Do you think they have that in
K2SO?
K2SO?
Yeah, I do.
He was great.
They also had like, did you know? You remember that little short alien on Jeddah that's fighting with the rebels? That little short alien thing. And Jeddah's the first city that gets blown up.
Yes, that's where Guerrero.
Yeah, that was Warwick Davis.
Really?
Yeah, Constant. But then,
really,
there was talks about Biston the Space Monkey and stuff like that.
We did see you did get to see the two. There was a bunch of like little Easter eggs, I guess I'll call them in the movie.
Stupid, no point.
I think no. Those are more for the that was for the fans.
But here's the thing:
service.
If the city of Jeddah gets fucking destroyed, now you have a plot hole in how did that walrus guy and the he doesn't like you guy get to fucking Tatooine?
He doesn't like you.
I don't like you either. How does that guy get to Tatooine?
Escape pod? They didn't say.
The city blows up 15 minutes after they leave.
But I mean, if our heroes got out, why can't they?
Because they're not part of the rebellion. They didn't have a ship coming to save them. What do they leave as soon as Ray? As soon as Jin sees them? Do they just leave after that?
Maybe they had a feeling.
Fucking.
Did anyone lose an arm in this? You know in Star Wars, like there's like that big thing where pretty much every movie someone loses their left arm. Yeah. Did anyone lose a left arm? I was trying to look for it the whole time, I didn't find it.
Well, there was no lightsabers.
Well, there was, but not.
I don't think Vader took anyone's arm off in that final shot.
I was trying to think. I was looking for it, but
that'd be the only place really they could have done that. I don't know, man. No.
You don't think so? I was trying to look for it the whole time.
Basically, here's how I look at it. The first 2/3 of this movie are absolute shit and no reason to exist.
You have no love for I actually enjoyed this movie, but you
you
got no love for it.
Yeah, because I'm sick and tired of rehashing fucking fan service. Like, I'm just sick of it. Every fucking Hollywood movie is doing it. I'm just like, give me something original, something I don't know. I would love to know a story about Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine, or did he actually go out on missions or something like that?
Like 40 years he was.
Yeah,
probably more like 20.
20 years or so where you don't know what happened. I know the plans got to the fucking rebels.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't need to know that. Oh, okay, these are the characters that did it.
Or what that little shout out to Obi-Wan was like.
Yeah,
go call your friends.
You know what though? Good on this fucking movie for finally acknowledging the prequels. Jimmy fucking Smits as Bail Organa shows up for all of 10 seconds, but he actually has 2 lines. So you know what? Good job, Gareth Edwards. Fuck you, Disney. Prequels exist.
So moving forward, what did we see next? Were we introduced
a bunch of bullshit. They go to the planet. Jin's father gets killed by the rebellion, which was fucking stupid.
Yes, and then that was more.
Then it's we can't attack Scarif. We can't get the plans. There's blah 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 bullshit shield over a planet, which is fucking stupid. I understand a shield generator for a battle station, but a shield over an entire fucking planet? Mm-hmm. That's like Spaceballs pointed out one serious fucking flaw. If you put a shield over a fucking planet, the planet will fucking like be a controlled area. So if you open that shit up,
I don't know. We're getting too astrophysics for me.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know if my science backs me up there, but I just want to say that they literally ripped off Spaceballs with that shield over the planet.
They just needed a giant vacuum to suck up all the oxygen.
They might as well. But that final third of the movie where they're actually on the planet Scarif, they're going into the tower. It starts off with another major fucking plot hole. And keep in mind, this is the part of the movie that made me sit there and go, this is good. This is the only part of the movie I liked, was that final third. They go onto the ship, and you remember how in A New Hope, the stormtroopers come on, and then Han and Chewie and Luke knock out the stormtroopers and get in their gear.
Get into gear, and then arrest Chewie.
Yeah, they do the same thing
with K2SO.
Except for they're not arresting K2SO
because
they have those droids. Yeah, they have those droids.
Right.
He's an Imperial droid. But they do that with a dude, like an admiral's fucking outfit where you can see the face. And then, by the way, Rey's outfit, nobody walked in that ship with that outfit.
Really?
Nobody walked in that ship with that outfit. I'll have to watch it again, but I'm pretty sure nobody walked in with that ship.
That black.
That was like a fucking Death Star technician outfit, kind of. Mm-hmm. With the shield visor thing.
Right. It was like a half.
Yeah.
Like a mask. Where like her mouth was covered.
So I sit there and I go, nobody recognized the fact that Diego Luna's character, the guy who walked in the ship, wasn't, Mexican looking?
Well, going into the movie, I thought it was going to be more of a spy movie.
And
it turned out it was a war movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like a straight...
But it wasn't a good war movie.
It was decent.
It wasn't that good.
I enjoyed it.
It wasn't that good. So they get into the building, they get they find out where the plans are, they go, okay, we gotta get the plans, blah, blah, blah. They have about 10 rebels with them, right? And halfway through, I sit there and I go, $10 says the rebellion shows up to save them, or at least help fight. What happens? Sir, the rebellion fleet has appeared, blah, blah, blah. Oh, shocking. What was cool is that in that final fight, if you're a fan of Star Wars Rebels, the ship from Rebels, the Ghost, is in that fight. So whoever survives out of Rebels is still fighting the rebellion, or fighting for the rebellion, which is cool.
That is cool.
And then those Hammerhead cruisers, which play a big part in this final fight, were actually stolen in Star Wars Rebels and given to the rebellion by the Ghost team.
Really? That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
So stuff like that I liked. Yeah, okay, you're connecting stuff now. But they sit there and they do these gymnastics or whatever the fuck they had to do and start rock climbing essentially to get to the plans. And you're telling me Orson Krennic can't hit them while they're unable to move?
Well, I mean, he is probably...
I'm just sick of this fucking... they can't hit anything. Probably the standout fucking characters are the blind monk played by Donnie Yen. His name is Chirrut Imwe. Chirrut Imwe. And Baze Malbus played... I forget who plays... The actor who plays him. But he's like Chirrut Imwe's guardian. And they're monks of the Wills or something, which is like... The original title to A New Hope was Luke Starkiller and the Journal of the Wills. So that's where that came from. So Donnie Yen's character is force sensitive, and essentially they need to flip a switch to bring down the shield so that they can send it.
So they can upload.
They can upload the plans.
The plans.
So apparently emails exist.
I mean, it's not an email.
It's pretty much a fucking email.
It's not.
It's pretty much a fucking email.
I mean, it's not. But
hey, are you sending a digital message through radio waves?
I don't know how
it's a fucking electronic message.
It was too big. It was too big to send.
What was too big? Nothing was fucking too big.
The Death Star plans were too big.
So stupid. And you sit there and you go, okay, well, we got to bring down the shield, all right? So they set up a comm tower relay. They open up the shields. Then rebel pilots get in, right? There was also that shot of Jin walking down the scaffolding and the TIE fighter pulling right up to her. Not in the movie.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
There was a lot in the trailers that they cut or...
There's also that scene of Vader standing in front of like the Death Star blueprint or whatever in the red screen. Not in the movie.
We didn't get to Vader, but when we first get introduced to him, why does he say that really corny pun?
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations.
It's so fucking stupid.
I like that.
How did you like
Everybody's like,
that?
that's not Vader.
How did you like
I
that,
don't
but you
fucking
hated
care.
the pun?
Everything with Vader I liked. I liked everything with Vader.
Oh, but what was awesome about this is they showed why everyone was so scared of Vader.
Yeah.
It's him walking on that narrow hallway and kills like a dozen people.
That is the standout scene in the movie.
That
Literally,
was incredible.
it's 5 seconds of Vader just fucking people
And then
up.
the one guy at the end who's holding the plans, it gets
Take
trapped
it!
in.
He's sitting there screaming, help us! Help us! And then he just knows they're not getting help, and it's just like, take it! And then he gets stabbed
That was
through the
badass.
door. That was cool. But okay, so what was the planet they showed that fucking castle on? Vader's castle. Was that supposed to be Mustafar because of the lava?
Probably.
Okay, tell me this doesn't sound like a better movie. Ready? Star Wars Rogue One is the story about Darth Vader, from Darth Vader's point of view, and the rebels stealing the plans is like a story thread. So it's Vader, like, okay, everybody's like, oh, Vader should have been on Scarif. He didn't need to be on Scarif. I can understand, like, it would have been cool to see Vader on Scarif. But think about it, there's only like 10 or 15 rebels on Scarif, so what does he really have to do? Nothing. It was cool. It would have been cooler to see like an actual Vader movie at that point. If the best parts of this movie are going to be Darth Vader's 5 seconds of screen time.
Well, it was the best, probably the ending half hour.
Yeah, and they take those and they do something that's never been done before. They show like an actual fucking starfight, like the best starfight. Like I think Revenge of the Sith is the closest we get to a real starfight. You know.
Well, it's progressive with technology.
Yeah, but like I mean, like Revenge of the Sith had that opening shot where it's the clones and Anakin fighting the General Grievous's armada, which was cool. And then they kind of one up it with this with the Winston Churchill Akbar guy.
Winston Churchill.
Well, that's who they based that character
Really?
off of, Winston Churchill. Yeah, so he's a Mon Calamari, but he's like modeled after Winston Churchill. Because he's not. That wasn't Akbar. They sit there and they use a Hammerhead cruiser to literally ram a star destroyer into the shield to break it open.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
That was cool. What did you think of the CG usage with like people's faces?
Awful.
You thought that was awful?
Okay. Have you ever heard the term uncanny valley?
No, but I'm sure you're gonna tell me anyways.
I'm gonna tell you. Basically, the uncanny valley is used in reference. This is the definition. Used in reference to the phenomenon whereby a computer-generated figure or humanoid robot bearing a near identical resemblance to a human being arouses a sense of unease or revulsion in the person viewing it. Now, they first show Tarkin, and it's just his back to the camera, and you see in the reflection it looks like him. I'm like, oh, that's cool, okay. They made the reflection look like him. And then they turn around and it's a completely computer-generated Peter Cushing.
Well, yeah, because he's dead.
I understand that. They've already fucking recast Han Solo. Why didn't they just use the actors they recast? Yeah!
Recasted him?
They should have just fucking recasted him. Nobody was gonna sit there and go, oh man, I really wish they had done the face thing. Not one fucking person.
You don't think Leia looked good at the end?
No! I thought Leia looked worse than anything. I thought Tarkin actually got better as the movie progressed.
Think so? Really?
Yeah, I could just notice it. You're telling me you didn't notice it the entire time?
Yes, but I had no issues with it.
Dude, the mouth is awful. They never get that right. Like
You definitely see the technology progressing, though.
Yes, but I think as the movie progressed, Tarkin looked better, and then that final shot of Leia, its hope was fucking awful.
Actually, that's funny, because the theme of hope took me a while to realize that, like, they kept saying hope.
Yeah.
And then the fourth movie is...
A New Hope.
A New Hope.
Yeah.
It took me a while.
Yeah. Stupid.
Took me a while.
It's fucking stupid.
Rebellions are built on hope, and What is
A
this?
New Hope.
It's Hope.
Yeah.
And then the fourth one is the one following it in chronological order is A New Hope.
Yeah. I didn't hate this movie, but all of this really just made me sit there and go, we didn't fucking need this movie.
I think I agree with you in the sense that it's unnecessary.
It's not a bad movie.
No.
You'll enjoy watching it.
Like in the Avengers when Iron Man and Pepper broke up.
Yeah.
They didn't make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
You don't need to. I think this may have been one of those where
you didn't need a movie out of it.
You can make it a 5-second. Hey, me and Pepper broke up.
Yeah.
Done. Hey, they stole the Death Star plans.
Which
Done.
is what they did in A New Hope.
Right. Although the one good thing that comes out of this movie is it closes up the one giant hole in number 4, which is
the trench exhaust port thing.
Yeah, which is why is there a giant
weakness
in this building? Like,
maybe remember the Family Guy joke? It's like maybe we should patch it up. Yeah, maybe we should.
But what's nice is it finally closes that little hole in the story because it's put
I didn't
purposely.
care. I didn't care.
I just like that it closes it up.
Does it honestly affect you either way? Does it sit there and go like when you thought about the original trilogy? Did you sit there and go, man, that's just such a plot hole, one fucking thing?
I mean, for me, no, but for some people, yes.
Who fucking cares? That's the minority of people who watch this movie.
I'm just saying. I'm just bringing up facts.
But that's the thing. I feel like since Disney has taken it over, it's been all about fan service to the people who are fucking diehard original trilogy.
And not the people that are just
either casual or fans of Star Wars. Like, I'm a fan of Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I sit there and I look forward to each new movie. And I love the mythology behind it. But I would have much rather a movie that expands upon the fucking universe instead of one that sits there and goes, hey, so we're going to find a way to make this fit.
Or it talks about... They focus all the movies on one story.
Yeah. Like, I just don't care. Your first spin-off movie and your attempt is, okay, let's see if people are interested. And let's do a fucking story about rebels who steal the plans to the Death Star. You could have chosen a million other things. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or at least take a different perspective, like you said, and make it from Vader's point of view.
That would have been so cool.
That would have been cool.
Like, he didn't need to light up his lightsaber until that end scene. It would have been awesome.
I mean, but she didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about it. He lights up his lightsaber once in Empire, once in A New Hope, and once in fucking Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Not much.
Not much. No.
Definitely in the 1, 2, and 3, you get a lot more lightsaber fights.
Yeah. Well, that was the whole point.
Right.
That was the whole point of those movies, was the Jedi.
Well, now they're all dead.
Yeah. No, not all of them.
You know,
Most of them are. The Jedi Purge and Vader hunts down Jedi. But here's the thing. That shit's not canon anymore.
No? Who's that?
No. So, this is another issue I have. Alright, Disney, you have to start fucking picking what's canon and what's not at this point. You just made Admiral Thrawn canon in Rebels, and then you sit there and you know, oh, Vader did the Jedi Purge. Okay, well, is there a book that describes that now? Because there's too much backstory you're doing with these books now that I don't know.
Did they say the Purge actually happened?
I don't know.
Because I know, obviously, in the third one, they're like, execute on the
Yeah.
and then all the Jedi start to fall.
Yeah.
But, like, that's pretty much all they really... In canon, that's all they really said.
That's the Jedi Purge as far as... or that's... I guess that would be Order 66 is the Jedi Purge.
Not Order 66. Order 66.
Yes. Okay. So be it, Jedi. You will die. All right. If you had to rate this movie, what would you give it?
I enjoyed it. Go see it in theaters.
Yeah.
Don't see it in 3D though.
Yeah. No need for 3D.
There's only been one movie that I said you should go see in 3D, and that was Doctor Strange. This one isn't a 3D.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna say, go see it once.
It's worth a watch.
It's worth a watch. So at least you can form your own opinions.
I would
on
go
it.
see it for K2SO.
Yeah. I would go see it just for that Vader scene.
And K2SO.
Nah, that final third is so good.
No, yeah, that final, not even, yes, the Vader scene, but also
the actual listen, it's like, you know what the best description of it is? It's like a Killing Joke. the actual stuff of them stealing the Death Star plans, the actual Killing Joke stuff, was awesome.
Oh, the movie.
Yes.
The movie, The Killing Joke.
The prelude to it was unnecessary and did not fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I go back to that jumping around to all those planets. It kind of felt like, remember when we were sitting there in the theater for BVS? Like, wow, this is fucking terrible editing. They're just jumping around here.
Mm-hmm.
Took me out of it.
Yeah,
Every time I saw those CGI characters, took me out of it. And the movie ends with a CGI fucking character. Movie ends on Leia's fucking face. And it's like, that is awful. Why is that your final shot?
Well, the final shot was them floating away and Vader standing there.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought the final shot was Leia after saying hope.
They said it's hope, and then Vader.
No, I'm pretty sure the final shot was Leia.
Am I backwards?
I think you are, yeah. Vader's standing there and he watches the ship go, and then they bring the plans to Leia on the ship.
Wow.
They show that.
Okay.
And then it's hope, and then the What do you think of the score by Michael Giacchino or Giacchino?
This middle, it was in the middle for me. Nothing stood out. Like it sounded like Star Wars. But
yeah. Did you notice that anytime they showed Jyn Erso and Cassian Andor, they were playing the Anakin and Padme on the Blue theme?
That's another thing. At the end, I thought they were totally gonna like kiss or something, and like that romance. I don't know if they're trying to make it like a romance thing, but it didn't fit, and I'm glad they didn't kiss.
I think they were trying to make it a romance. I like the two characters, and I would have liked to have seen more out of them.
It's not in a romance though.
Yeah, I could have seen a romance.
Man, I didn't.
Dude,
I thought that would have been.
Here's your fucking ready, Jyn and Galen. Ready? I'm gonna do this for you. Ready?
Do it for me, baby.
Okay, Jyn and Galen, they're the Ursos, right?
Okay.
Now the Ursos, Jyn has a daughter. Say
Sounds
Jyn.
like a sitcom. The Ursos.
Yeah, say Jyn has a daughter, right? And Jyn's daughter with Cassian Andor ends up marrying Luke Skywalker.
Oh.
Mara Urso.
What?
Instead of Mara Jade, Mara Urso.
Okay.
That could have been cool. Just saying, they shouldn't have fucking killed every character. It was stupid.
Everybody died. Like, you know that joke we have where it's like, alright, don't tell me the ending.
Yeah, everybody dies. Everybody dies! Yeah, like, I can't even make that joke about this movie because now it's a spoiler.
Like, everybody dies.
Alright, guys. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought. If you're smarter than us, you'll probably like it. You know, you'll probably really like it. Or if you're dumber than us, you'll probably, agree with us. So let us know what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. Share, like, and subscribe. You know who we are.
He's always. Money Mike,
and he is Gin and Tonic Urso. Rated R for review.
Gin and Tonic. I got it now.
You get it?
I got it now.
It took you 30 minutes.
This has been good. We're okay. Yeah, about 37 minutes.
Yeah. This is Rated R for review. Keep it tight, people.